Hello creative friends, this is Joy. This is the second video of the 5S journal that I'm making. As I mentioned in the first video that I made, I saw this video from Cat Hand where she made one, and she got the idea from Shannon Green, so I decided to try this myself. And also, as mentioned in my first video, this little journal that I have has a few more pages. So I'm trying to do like all the pages, so instead of 20 like they suggest, I have 30. And they also say, you know, allow yourself 15 minutes for each session, and I've bumped it up a little bit since I have 30 pages, and I'm trying to do to 25 minutes because I've calculated it out, and that seems like equivalent, but I failed miserably in the first video. I did not get paint on every page within the 25 minutes, but I continued to put paint on the remaining pages, and I think it ended up taking me like 30 minutes instead of 25 minutes. And so I did get all the pages painted, and then I kind of cheated a little bit. I decided to go back over the pages that I put acrylic paint on and just put a wash of gesso because I wasn't too thrilled about some of the pages, how they turned out, and plus they just seemed like they were going to be too bright and overtake, you know, anything I put on top. So I put a wash of gesso to help tone them down a little bit. So here's the second session, and this session is just putting down scraps. I have this box that I put my scraps in, but I don't have a lot of scraps, as you can see. So I went and grabbed some more scraps. I got some book pages out of a book. This is actually a book on card games, so I'm going to use those. I've got a couple hymnals, so I grabbed some sheet music out of one of those hymnals that I have. Also grabbed some envelopes and opened them up, some security envelopes. Those are good for backgrounds. I grabbed an old map. I figured maybe I could tear some stuff off of here. And I have these are actually papers for doing origami that I picked up, and I really like them, and I like that they're nice and thin as well, so it's not too hard to get them to stick down on the paper. So I'm going to just use all of these different items and go through the second session and see what I can come up with putting stuff on the pages. Again, it's going to be a time session, so it won't not allow me a lot of time to do a lot of thinking about what I'm doing. I'll just have to quickly go through and just put stuff down. So we'll see how it goes. I'm going to set my clock again. It's the same as I did last time, and we shall see whether that's going to be enough time or not to get through this second session. So hope you enjoy the video. Thanks for watching. Okay, so here I just used some school glue. It's the kind, it's purple, and then after it dries clear. That's just a little piece of a paper towel that was left over from another project. I really like the color and design on it. And I had a little bit of trouble at first getting the pieces of paper to stick down, but I did finally get into a rhythm of putting the paper down on the pages. I tried to vary the pieces of paper that I was putting down, where I was putting them, the, you know, little pieces versus the strips, you know, to try to make the different pages, you know, all different, so that you didn't go through the book and they all be the same. And that was somewhat of a challenge because, you know, the point is to do this without giving it a whole lot of thought, but in order to, I guess, try to get it so that every page didn't look exactly the same. You know, you had to kind of do a little bit of thinking, but I did pretty good on getting these scrap papers down on every page, and and put them down on a random of enough order to where they were all different, and varied from page to page. Some of the scraps there is from the Tim Holtz tissue paper that was scraps that were left over from other projects. The red pieces of paper is I really like that paper. It was came with some kit that I had got, and it was a paper pack, and it's like a fiber paper, and that was a little piece of scrap I had left over from another project as well that I wanted to use on this, you know, in this journal. My favorite color is red, so I wanted to get some pop of red on some of the pages. So I didn't have a big piece of that particular paper to use. You know, I only had a few smaller pieces once I tore it into pieces, but I had enough. I had a time before I started the video. Of course, as you can see, I ripped all of the scraps that I had into strips and pieces and put them in piles around me so that I could just quickly grab and glue down. That orange piece is actually deli paper that I had used on another project where I was playing around with some jelly prints and then rolling off my roller onto some deli paper. And so, of course, that was scraps that was in my box to use on whatever. So I thought that would also add some nice pop of color as well. The book pages that I pulled out of the book that was for, there's another piece of that painted deli paper. But the book pages that I pulled out of that card game, or the book that shows card games, I really liked some of the pictures that were on the pages. So I kind of strategically tried to incorporate those into my pages on some of the pages to, you know, the pictures of the cards and people playing cards and stuff. So that kind of added a cute little touch to the pages. I don't remember exactly how long it took me to do these pages. I do believe that it took me a little bit longer than the 25 minutes that I allotted myself to finish putting papers down on every single page. But I don't think it took me a whole lot longer. I think it took me an extra like 5-10 minutes to finish up the pages that were remaining. So there, I think I was just checking the timer to see where I was at and how much time I had left. And it's funny, you know, when you time yourself, uh, it's like you try to go fast. When you start out, you're trying to go, you know, you think you're going as fast as you can, and then you start seeing the timer getting closer and closer to the time when, you know, it's about to go off, and you really start picking up the pace to try to beat that timer. So there, you know, as I got closer and closer towards the end, I was going faster and faster to try to beat the timer. But like I said, I don't think I made it on this one either. On the first session where it was putting down paint, I definitely did not make the 25 minutes that was allotted. It took me a little longer, and this particular session ended up taking me a little bit longer as well. But Oh well, that's the way it goes. I mean, for the most part, you are having to quickly move along and get these, papers and paints and stuff on the page without, like I said, giving it a whole too much thought. But so it kind of helps in getting it done more quickly. But it was challenging, definitely challenging, especially when I kept wanting to try to be more strategic and put too much thought into it. But it's definitely was a lot of fun as well to do this, and just like go for it with abandon. There I was looking at the timer again, and I'm flipping through the pages just trying to see if there's any place else where I might want to add some more. And I decided that I just maybe should put down some washi tape on some of the pages. I just felt like that, you know, some of these pages did need more, but not necessarily. Well, some of them, yeah, need, I guess, put down some more pieces, and then others, more washi tape. And this is, I guess, where I kind of got into trouble with the time, because I did manage to get the first round pa scraps onto every page, but then I decided, like I said, to go back because I had a little bit of time left and thought, well, here, let me go back and maybe see what else I can do to add a little bit more to the pages since I have time. And then I think that's where I kind of ran out of time going back through the pages, but ended up just deciding to finish up, the last little bit that I was trying to accomplish with getting these papers down on the pages. And it's interesting when you're at this point doing this, because you have no idea, you have no pre-planning, you have no idea what the heck you're going to put, on these pages, how it's going to turn out, or any of that. So you know, it's interesting, to say the least. But even what's more interesting is when you get to the end with the finished book, like when I ended up finishing this with pictures and words and everything. It just was pretty cool how everything just kind of came together, and it, what first in the beginning seemed like something very random and unplanned and just kind of thrown on the pages. Actually, in the end, it seemed like, it almost looked like it was a planned something, that was more planned out, but it it really isn't, So I really, really like the way that the finished journal ended up turning out. It turned out really cute, and so um, I'm actually, now that I finished this one, I'm thinking about doing it again in a different journal. I use this journal because I wanted to use what I had on hand, and I didn't really have a composition book, which is what some of the other people that are doing this are using. And then, like halfway through doing this or towards the end, I happened to be looking for something else and found that I do have a composition book that I was not, I had forgotten all about. So I'm thinking about maybe doing this again in the composition book that I do have. If I do, I'll be sure to videotape that as well and put those up. I did post pictures of some of the pages on my website, and with each video posting I do, I'll post a few more pictures of the finished pages, and my website is at the end of the video. If you like the videos that you're seeing on my channel, I would appreciate it if you could like or subscribe or even leave me a comment. Would be really nice. I'm fairly new to YouTube and trying to post videos of the journal pages that I'm doing. I'm having a lot of fun art journaling, and I really enjoy sharing what I do with other art journalists. I love seeing what other art journalers are doing. I get a lot of good ideas like this here from watching other people's videos. So I hope that you like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Thank you for watching.